So beneath the waves of Singapore's waters, there lies a hidden world, a world that really many of us rarely see. Sometimes you also cannot see. Okay? So this is what we have in Singapore. But beyond all that, we have a hidden world that's full of corals, full of nudibranch with different shapes and sizes, and we also have elusive seahorses and eagle rays. But this hidden world, if we are not doing anything, we are going to lose it, and they are disappearing at a rate that's faster than we realize. So I'm a marine biologist, and together with my friends, we are trying our very best to put them back and bring them back to life. So I dive a lot, and this is what I do when I go diving. I find big rocks like this and make sure they are really, really stable, give them a really nice scrub, and we plant corals on them. Okay, a lot of these corals are safe from places that are going to be developed. We save them, and then we try to grow them and so that they can continue to thrive. And slowly, with a lot of TLC, they become a coral garden. And these coral gardens, slowly, when they start to grow, become bigger, and when they flourish, they become homes for marine animals, shelter for them, food as well, and also in turn support a lot of livelihood in terms of creating jobs, and also become natural barriers that protect strong waves from hitting the shores. And we also get our favorite seafood from coral reef. So a lot of my time is also doing reef surveys where we check the coral to see whether they are doing well. Are they doing okay? And then to see also some of these interesting things that we find. So these are actually not ping pong balls. Do you know what is this? So this is actually the eggs of cuttlefish. Okay, very nice to see biodiversity within this kind of coral reef as well. And also, this is one of my favorite. If you take a look close enough, okay, it might look like a rock that's really moving. But this is actually a turtle. Okay, I found this in Pulau Hantu. And I tell you, within my 10 years of diving, I only seen sea turtles underwater 3 times. Okay, so this is a really special memory for me. And look how close it got to us, right? And they really have a tag at its fins, so you know that the movement are actually tracked by scientists. So magical, right? Okay, but sometimes you also see a lot of threats. Okay, so this is a fishing line that end up entangling some of the corals, right? Whether it's natural or coral that we painstakingly transplanted and take care of them. Sometimes, because it's so fragile, the corals can get broken. And then you can see a graveyard of plastic bottles like that. And also, potato chips, okay? A lot of food wrappers underwater. And I tell you, this is going to be my favorite. Minnie Mouse. Someone lost their toy, okay? So this is a whole, whatever that you can imagine, I probably have found it underwater. And this was really the last straw, okay? So let's take a guess. What is this thing? And this is the item that propelled me through and start my first conservation initiative. This is a washing machine. And we found it when we surveyed the reef, okay? Why is it there? So I keep thinking to myself, oh my God, it crushed the whole entire patch of coral reef that we were surveying. And for the past 6 months, they have been alive and well. And a big item like this can easily break these corals, and they will take very, very long to grow back. And beyond all that, you can see at the side, it creates a dead zone, right? Where a lot of other trash can get trapped over there, and there's a lot of plastic bottles and wrappers. So after that, we gathered our friends, and the time when I just surfaced out of the water, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. We need to do something. Let's call our friends and we do a dive cleanup. Okay, so we started our Singapore Reef, which is a community initiative to really want to bring marine enthusiasts together to do something for the ocean. So we do a lot of dive cleanup. This is our own version of Hai Di Lao. Okay, so we go clean the ocean, and then we bring youth on board, we bring people who are interested together, and then we will have NTUC basket, okay? And then we pick up a lot of trash. We count them because we really don't know what's under Singapore seas. Okay, so from this picture, you can see a lot of them are already very filed up. So we have a whole list of documentation, and we submit the data to an online global database that's accessible by everybody, okay? Because we want to keep this data transparent, and anyone who needs the data, they can access it. And then we weigh it, all right? And this is also not the only issue that we have, pollution, right? We also have coastal developments. I always joke that, to my students as well, next time, 10 years later, 20 years later, when we draw the Singapore map, it's going to be so easy, it's going to be a little diamond, okay? And then over the past 60 years of intensive land reclamation, we lost a lot of our natural habitats, we lost a lot of seagrasses, mangrove, coral reef, and because we have a lot of walls like this, artificial seawalls, and a lot of our work is to dive under these seawalls and create new reef areas by planting corals on them. So this is also something that is happening worldwide. So I remember this was my first few times when I started diving in 2016. So that day, the temperature was really hot, and it was really during the coral bleaching events in 2016. So when you dive there and you realize that, oh my God, the whole place is really like a white ghost town. There's no sound, there's no fish. Okay, so I told myself that, oh my God, I really don't want this to happen again. And of course, we have oil spill in last year, June. So this really impacted a lot of different habitats as well, not only the corals, but also the mangrove and in the tidal zone. And some of the marine animals are also trapped in slicks of oil. So this is also something to think about. Drift nets are like blankets, okay? So they can just bulldoze the whole seabed and catch anything in its way. And sometimes for us, we find that we have very interesting animals when they die, all right? So a lot of them are trapped by nets like that. And it's such a pity to lose them, okay? So that turtle particularly was found in Pulau Hantu. So it was trapped by this net, and by the time it was discovered, the net is already cut so deep in its neck, okay? And let's take a look at this. This was the net that was retrieved. The entire net is 150 meters long. And among it, you can see there's a lot of different things that's still trapped there. And the crew on board, they were so nice. They were trying to really save all the animals they can and bring them back into the sea so that they can have a lease of life again. Okay, so and also because of this, sometimes you want to talk about communication, all these issues, how can we pass down to the wider public? And because of this article and many out there, and I'm also a scientist, right? And you know that a lot of articles that we publish is always behind a paywall. And that is so irritating because you are so interested in reading it, but you cannot access unless you pay. So that also gives us a reason and how we can actually use that and communicate to the wider public through different ways. So we want to do, especially inspire the young. So we go to shopping malls, we want to engage young children to learn about conservation and what they can actually do at this young age. We also go to hawker centers. If you can recognize this is in Tiong Bahru Hawker Center, where we really hijack the whole place. And then we just talk to a lot of aunties, uncles, a lot of public members about the issues of marine conservation and coral conservation. We also go pubs to reach out to different audience because we want more people to know about issues that we face. And also turning marinas into outdoor classroom. So this is also a good opportunity where we work together with industry, in this case 1 degree 15, to create a coral garden where the whole pontoon rise and fall with the tide, right? So even if you are not a diver, you can just walk along the pontoon and can see the whole process of coral restoration. So this structure acts as a coral nursery, and then we also invite a lot of different dive volunteers to help to take care of these corals. Once they're big enough, they get transplanted out to the coral garden, right in the marina. So we also transform a lot of luxury vessels into a classroom, and also not forgetting the seniors, okay? So because they're all part of this community. And we also want to channel different messaging through art. So we work with Dr. Wang Robing to really collect marine debris, and she pieced nicely together. And this is actually depicts the whole Sisters Islands over here. Okay, and this is all not without the support of Friends of Marine Park, where the Blue community come together and we can do different things in so much more different avenues. So my conservation journey takes me to different parts of the world. So we have Philippines as well, where we reach out to dive operators who are super enthusiastic about protecting their own marine spaces. And then we also work together with fishermen in Les Village. And an interesting story is, these fishermen, they used to be ornamental fishermen, and they use potassium cyanide to damage their reef, and so that they can actually catch the fish easily. But one day they realized that, hey, how come my fish is not coming back? So this is how we come in and give our inputs as a scientist and try to uplift the community together. Okay, so we also empower the fishermen. We train them in doing reef surveys and coral planting so that they can continue to influence others and other divers to help them with their cause. So you can see this is a coral garden that they built on their own. And with this, it really inspired me to really want to do more. So last year, we started our Blue Spaces with the intention to move beyond Singapore and beyond coral reef. So this is something that I envision with you guys on this journey so that we can impact more communities together. Thank you so much.